What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed, all about pressure washing and quote IQ. And in today's video, we have a pressure washing business Q&A, spooky Halloween theme edition. That's what I put in the title. The first thumbnail that Mike sent me was really spooky Halloweenish. So,
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I was wearing a pumpkin costume.
I'm here with the special guest. Mike, how's it going, man?
It's great. It's great. Did you dress up last night, Justin?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Mike? Did you dress up?
Yeah, I was a sexy police officer.
It's so weird. I was a sexy boat captain.
Nice.
That's really weird.
That's weird. It sucks though, because like every time I like try to go to get a new costume, it's always like they're always like really short little skirts and everything's so tight. And I don't understand why it's always just like stuff like that.
Like it just gets sluttier and sluttier every year. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
Yeah, every year I look even sluttier.
Especially for male costumes, it seems like it only gets more and more out of hand. You know.
And you got that right.
So, did you put anyone under citizen's arrest last night, or what?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay, sweet. So guys, welcome back to another edition of pressure washing, talking, and answering questions.
This is where we talk. This is where we talk and answer questions.
So, I mean, Mike, do you want to start off with the state of affairs or what? Big Stallion.
Yeah, I mean, this week was actually kind of chill. We've got some cool news. A lot of people have been asking, excuse me, in regards to integrations that we have with other software platforms. One of the main ones that we kept getting requests for was Google Calendar, because a lot of people are running their businesses and just their personal lives on Google Calendar. It's probably the most prolific calendar available. And so we are happy to announce that we do now have a Zapier integration with Google Calendar. So any of the scheduled appointments that you put on your Quote IQ calendar, now if you have Zapier and integrate, you will be able to see all of those on your Google Calendar, seamless. If they delete them, if they make any changes, it will be reflected instantly within your Google Calendar. So very, very cool.
So if you guys want to find this, you can definitely go test it out for us, because we just put it out. API integrations. It is in the settings tab. And yeah, this way you can connect everything. We know that there was people that wanted us to have route optimizers. People wanted Google Calendar integrations. People wanted just a few other things that we needed to have this API for. And so if you're somebody who wants Quote IQ to work with another software, be sure to check out myquoteiq.com, and you can actually click the book a demo tab right here, and our onboarding guy will actually help you set up whatever you need. So test it out, let us know how it works for you, and it's just something that a lot of people were asking about.
Yep.
Jack's in the house. Hey guys. Doc in the building. Peaches is here. Peaches loves Zapier.
Good.
Ed Wilson, what's up? Big Time is in the house. Been waiting for that. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, man. So, yeah, we have it in place. Like I said, is it 100% so far, or we don't know. So test it out. Let us know if you have any troubles with it.
Yeah, and so currently it is on the web version only. With the next update, it will be in it'll be in the Apple and the Google Play Store update. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, so it's currently only available at myquoteiq.com. Myquoteiq.com. If I book a call, can I talk with you, Justin?
You can pay. But if you are interested in setting up Zapier integration or any other Quote IQ questions, you can set up a Zoom call with our support team, and they would be more than happy to get on and help you. But no, Justin and I don't take calls.
Today is an important day, says Jack. It's time for official nicknames. Big Mike goes first.
Okay, who are we giving nicknames to?
I don't know. I'm assuming since he said Big Mike goes first that you're getting a nickname. I know how to set up API though. Okay,
Good.
so Peaches says she knows how to do that.
She just wants to talk with
I
Justin.
just would like to talk with Justin.
Hey, we have a one-on-one training program where you too can talk one-on-one with Justin.
It's a lot of fun too. In there, we do arts and crafts, and every week Mike does a puppet show, and
I
it's
do.
a new puppet show every week. And
With a new character
you should
because,
hear the voices this guy does.
oh man, I love doing voices.
Southern Design. What's up from Houston? Power Washing Pros. What's going on? Power Washing Pros LLC. Mike has a weird fascination with elf culture, as well as anyone who likes to use LLC at the end of their business name. Mike, do you want to tell him about that?
I have several pet peeves. One of my favorite is when they put the dollar sign behind the numerals. Okay, that's pet peeve number one. So anybody that's watching, if this is you and you do this in America, when we're talking about currency, dollar sign, numerals. And yes, I understand it's $25, but that doesn't mean it's $25 sign. It's dollar sign 25. That's how we use that, little numerals and hieroglyphs or whatever the hell you want to call them. So that's number one. The second pet peeve that I have is LLC, right? Yes, you have a limited liability company. That's awesome. But guess what? No one gives a damn about LLC. And when you say LLC, like when you're talking about your company, hey, what's the name of your company? Pro Wash LLC. No, it's not. Your business name is called Pro Wash. It's not LLC. LLC is the corporate designation that you've chosen for your business. Okay. So just like when I say, hey, hon, you want to run to Target LLC? No. Do you want to go and grab some burgers at McDonald's LLC? No, nobody does that. So please, it makes you look unusually. I don't know. Please don't use that, right? The name of your business is the name of your business. Don't tack on the LLC. Okay. It's unneeded. And that's one of my pet peeves. And there are some jurisdictions and states that require a business when they're, doing marketing or anything like that. Some will have to include that. So if that's you, do it on the print media and the marketing and the website, because like I said, there are some situations where it is required. However, you don't have to say it. It makes you sound strange.
Yes. Okay. So now that we've got Mike's pet peeves out of the way, let's move on to our next segment. Sock puppet time. Sock puppets. Give us your best voice, Mike.
I've got so many, and I just see with the voices, it's strange because like it's almost like I'm. What do they call it? Like kind of like when you're speaking tongues, or it just comes to me. Like certain situations will bring out those voices. Like there are some voices like, and then my face. I do a certain face as well when I make my
like
voices.
Jim Carrey, kind of.
Yeah, it's a lot like Jim Carrey, but not as talented, handsome, or as wealthy. But so yeah.
Okay. Anyway, these are the choices for Mike's nickname: Mike, the Dean of Clean Vidan, Mike, the Goose Assassin Vidan, or Mike Short Shorts Vidan.
Yes,
The
all
chat
of those are
voted,
great.
and whatever one wins is the nickname.
That's great. I like them all.
Anyone who was here last week. Okay. Next week is Justin's turn. Okay,
I've got short shorts on today too.
Do you have short shorts on?
Well, they're not necessarily short shorts. Like I said, I wear Lululemon shorts. That's my brand of choice.
They're designed short.
Yeah, they're designed for quick getaways.
Hey, I like what I'm hearing. A lot of movement can go on. Next week is my turn, so you guys take the week, take the weekend, think through it. Only want well thought out nicknames, please. Found out the hard way why it's important to save like crazy when it comes to your business. Probably going to have to back out of a $12,000 job because I can't get financing for equipment.
Okay, let's think about this, Cole. If you can secure a $12,000 job, you don't necessarily have to have equipment. You could outsource it to somebody local, right? And if you can outsource it to somebody local, then you have a finder's fee or a commission, or you quote it for 12, have them do it for 10, and you collect 2K.
Right. Take a finder's fee on it rather than just giving the job up as a whole, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'd go deeper on that, but I'm a pressure washer. Just curious about the contracts. Does the universal contract encompass more? Which should I get?
No. Well, we have a pressure washing contract, and then we've got a universal contract. So if you're a pressure washer, I would definitely say go with the pressure washing contract. The universal is more for other home service businesses. It is not pressure washer related at all. It's a general contract with addendums for various other services. And again, it's a general one, so it's very broad but all encompassing. That does a great job in protecting your business.
And if you guys need a way to attach contracts to every single estimate that you send out, you can do so using Quote IQ. It's one of the free features. You
The
can send
Q.
estimates, invoices, collect payments, keep track of customers, and get reviews all for free using Quote IQ. You can check it out. We have it linked down below. Dwarves are pet peeves as well. Absolutely, can't forget about the little people. All right, Mike.
No, you never forget about the little people.
Okay. Mike actually recently asked somebody if they would classify themselves as a dwarf over YouTube, but
Well, anybody that's under 5 foot technically is classified by the United States government as a dwarf.
it's good to know.
Yeah, my
Does that
wife
mean
is my
all
wife is
children
5 foot,
dwarves?
and I wish she was shorter because then she would be a dwarf.
Wow. I mean, technically, that wouldn't justify your hatred towards dwarfs. You'd be a dwarf lover at that point, I think, Mike.
Yeah, it's like there's a Dave Chappelle skit. You ever see that one? Where he's the
I'm not sure if it's appropriate or not. But if you
probably
want.
we shouldn't talk about it.
Okay. And I don't have enough money saved. Pissed, but ultimately my fault. I'd like to know more. I'd like to know more about this. Why does he need $12,000 worth of equipment?
Well,
Like
I don't think he has anything.
you can rent like whatever you need. You know what I mean? Like, dude, Chris just rented, I think, like a $30,000 wash trailer for not relatively inexpensive. The thing is, obviously I don't know your situation, Cole, but I think if you wanted to figure it out, you'd find a way. But like Mike said, at least get a finder's fee on it. If you've already quoted it, you got the price nailed down, and call some companies and see if they could take care of it for you and get a fee on it. I vote Mike Short Shorts Vidan. We may have a nickname winner already.
Jack, there's one person that voted, and that was Peaches. So that's not
how many votes would constitute a decision on this, Mike?
Well, more than just Peaches. I mean,
what about Mike the Vulture Trainer Vidan? I think maybe that one's in contention as well.
I like it. I like any nickname. Any nickname is good.
Well, technically, Jack and Peaches voted for Short Shorts.
Right.
So that's 2.
Yeah, that's true.
And 1 vote for Vulture Trainer.
Right.
Question: what is a good fair price to wash a 3-floor stairs at an apartment complex, 7 buildings? To wash a 3-floor stairs?
Well, I think he's talking about the breezeways in the breezeways. The fuck, the breezeways in a 3-story building at an apartment complex. Well, there's a lot of things that are you doing the walls included in the breezeways? How dirty are the breezeways? What are the steps made of? What are there's lots of things. So we don't get into these questions on this simply because there's too many variables, and we don't know your market. We don't know your overhead. I can't tell you what to quote anything. Like, there's a series of questions that should be asked when you're quoting this. That can help you kind of hone in onto the price.
Exactly. But I would say if you don't want to lose this, like, dude, hop in our coaching. Like, literally, we'll take a look at it with you. We'll go through how to quote these, how to walk the property, what to say to the person that you're walking the property with. We'll give you the best opportunity to land this as possible. We actually had a guy that joined our coaching program after he quoted like an apartment complex, and he like way overshot it. He quoted like 160 grand. And like, had he talked to us first, like, we could have helped him land it. And so he probably missed out on at least like $60,000 because he wasn't in there. So it'll be linked in the comment section and the description. Check it out. You know what I mean? We can go one-on-one. It's not like us trying to communicate through YouTube. You know what I mean? It's really good. So check it out. Do you take IOUs? It's just as good as cash.
I don't. We've never taken IOUs.
What even is that, Mike?
Like, yeah, you just write IOU on a piece of paper, and you're like, yeah, it's going to be $300 to wash the driveway. Okay, I'm just going to give you an IOU, so I owe you $300.
we got it's just it's just as good as cash. We got a email probably like 2.5 years ago from a guy that said, do we have a learn now and pay later program to where he could learn all the info now and just pay us at a later point in time? And I've never forgotten that email. So just a fun one for today. I thought it was 4'10" for a dwarf. I think it's 5 foot. MMM exterior cleaning saying, hi guys, been watching forever.
What up?
Appreciate it. Marcus, thanks for hanging out, man. I just voted. I think a vote from Peaches is worth 10 votes. Some might argue that. I've been in business for 2 years, but still have a 2.5 gallon per minute and a 7 gallon per minute soft wash pump. It's all 4-story buildings, and my soft wash pump has been finicky and doesn't work most of the time.
Okay. Well, oh man, Cole, you've got a lot going on, pal. You have got a lot going on, and in business for 2 years, and you still have a 2.5 gallon per minute machine. That's a red flag. You are talking about a finicky 7 gallon per minute soft wash pump that probably cost under $250, and you're concerned about that. So if you've been in business, and I don't know if you're full time, I don't know anything. So these are just from what you're telling us in a very brief manner. There's a lot of stuff that's probably going wrong in your business, which is not allowing you to grow and, like you said, to save, because 2 years and a 2.5, like, honestly, if you're doing things right, probably after the first 10 jobs, you've got enough money to go buy an 8 gallon per minute machine, or a 5 gallon per minute machine. And certainly if you've got a 7 gallon per minute soft wash pump that's finicky and doesn't work most of the time, and you don't have $200 or $250, whatever, to go get a new one, then there's something significantly wrong with the inner workings of your business that you definitely need to address, because these are not things that are normal.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes you have forced growth. Okay. I mean, dude, like, oh my gosh, 2.5 gallon per minute for 2 years. I mean, I can't imagine that you're doing very many jobs, because it just wouldn't be very sustainable, in my personal opinion. I mean, obviously you can haul the washer around the yard if you want to. It's what I used to do, but it's just not a good way to go about it. So sounds like this is a good wake up opportunity to say, okay, now it's time to invest in some real equipment. And so that way we don't find ourselves in this position again. Do you guys use more LSA or PPC ads?
Local service ads or pay per click.
Nice. Okay.
I use a ton of local service ads, right? A huge proponent of that. It can get expensive, but the ROI on it is really good. Yeah. So, but we don't do a lot of PPC as far as my wash business, simply because I don't think that pay per click on, but LSA is still pay per click. But like, if you're talking Facebook ads, we're not as heavy into those as we are into, preferred and other things on Google.
Yes, we like to have a diversified marketing plan. We try to get our leads from as many sources as possible. So, I'm having trouble pricing and introducing the customers to pressure washing, since my country, Southeast Asia, never have pressure washing before.
Well,
Don't try to provide a service that is not in demand, is what I would say. Like, if the customer has to be educated on it, then there's probably not a need for it. If there was a need for it, there'd be no need for education. So I would find something that people are already in demand of and offer that.
We had someone last week that was, and I can't remember, I think they said they were from Indonesia, and he was starting a pressure washing business. And then he was contemplating whether to do just like motorcycle washing, because there was a higher demand for that. So I think that's something to take. Southeast Asia, that's a pretty broad geographical range. So I don't know exactly where you're at, or, but yeah, Justin talks about this a lot, and he talks about niching down and finding services that people need. And, a lot of guys are like, well, I want to be a pressure washer. but I can't afford this, that, or the other. Okay, well, you don't necessarily have to start off being a pressure washer or whatever it is that your ultimate goal is. You can start by just making some money. So find where you can make money, and then you can kind of see what else is out there for you.
I like what Jack says. You could position that they have a need that they don't even know about. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I look. What's interesting is when I go to places, like most, and I don't want to broadly categorize an entire region, but like in Europe,
Cultural
I look
appropriation.
around and everything looks dirty to me, right? And I think, oh my God, a pressure washing business would just crush over here. But that's the look. They like it. They like all the, naturalness, I guess. So again, it might be a need, and it might not be. So definitely do your due diligence prior to
We had a
making
person that
that.
built her entire business on the fact that she did test spots, and so maybe you could take that approach and just go clean random portions of people's properties, and once they realize how dirty everything is because they can see the clean spot, they can't unsee how dirty it is, and so, that was her business model, and she did very well with that model. Like, every time she wanted to do a quote, she'd do a test spot, and, she'd test spot everything she could to, get the customer to buy everything, so, you know. You might have some ethical issues there because, like, obviously cleaning things without being asked, I don't know, but anyway, that's one way you could go about it, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We appreciate all you guys for hanging out. We had some good questions in the chat. Why do so many old timers think it's so great to be working until they are dead? They take pride in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a flag of virtue that they like plant in the ground. And I think a lot of guys just it's funny. And Justin, you and I were kind of talking about this the other day when I was sending you those pictures of like some of these posts that people put out, where it's almost like they're trying to justify to themselves why they are where they're at in their lives and maybe not further along than they really want to be. So instead of like facing the harsh reality of you just haven't accomplished what you've intended to in your mind or your goals, they're just like, screw it, I'm going to own it, and I'm going to be on this truck until I die. And they don't say I'm going to be on this truck until they die. They will point fingers at those that aren't, that sit at a desk or that run a business and aren't necessarily on the ground every single day doing the actual manual labor. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's where 99.9% of us start, right? In the trenches, getting it done and building from there. But to your point, I hear it and I see it all the time, especially like on Facebook groups where these guys they just can't understand, or at least they're just saying that like you can't be giving advice or anything like that if you're sitting in an office. You got to get bleach in your eyes and blood in your on your hands and no, you don't. Obviously that's part of the journey, but it's not necessarily the end of the journey. So why do they do that? I don't know. It's become almost like a social signifier for these guys in these groups to like band together for being, 60 years old or however old they are, and in the same place where the 19-year-old is that is starting his business, right? I think it bothers them, and I'm just rolling and venting. But like Justin, this is the guys that will say, "Oh, you don't need to buy any kind of training. You don't need how to wash. You don't need to learn about marketing or PPC or running ads. You just need to get out there and shake hands and do a good job." Like these are the guys that are angry with us for helping people and doing lives like this where we're helping people with their business. They don't see it as that's not the flag of virtue, right? That's not a virtuous thing, actually helping people. It's learning the hard way, doing things not the easiest way, and then taking great pride in the fact that you are where you are, even though it's probably just a farce.
Yeah. Jack said it's because they're brainwashed. I kind of fall on this line. I think they're brainwashed into like not being able to see more for themselves, as well as the fact that there's a knowledge gap there, and instead of addressing the fact that they could become better, and by becoming better, they could hire employees and manage them and remove themselves from the business and then ultimately scale it to a place where they could sell it, they cover up that knowledge gap or an unwillingness to learn more by just wearing it as a badge of honor. Like, I'll never get
Right.
off the truck. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good question though.
Yeah.
Landed jobs, including work for an HOA and a roof wash, which is one I upsold to a full house and roof wash after my one-on-one. Yeah, we actually
Awesome.
did a one-on-one session with Josh. So, Josh, we appreciate you, man. That's one of the things that we talk a lot about in the one-on-one sessions. We hold you guys accountable. We make sure that you're putting in the numbers, and if you don't, then we're like, dude, what happened?
Well, and this Josh is somebody that saw the need, a void in his business. He identified it, and instead of just talking about it, he actually took action. And because he took action, he's seeing results, right? And Josh he was an impressive guy. Like, I remember the first call, he had insightful questions that he had thought about, and then he shut his mouth and he listened, and then he took shit tons of notes. And he did that every single time he'd ask a question. It was great. So people that want to get better, they know what they need to do. And instead of just sitting here watching YouTube, he actually, the ones that are going to be successful are the ones that actually take action and invest in themselves. And I'm not saying invest in, whatever specifically, but like, you got to do something to get beyond where you're at. And yes, you can probably get there by watching YouTube videos eventually, but why not circumvent all of that and get straight to the source of what you need? And, then you can progress at a much quicker
Yeah, you
rate.
got to have a willingness to learn, and then you got to have a willingness to implement. And then you also have to get to a place where you're tired enough with your current circumstance that you want something different. Because
Yeah.
we get a lot of calls from a lot of guys, and it's like, hey, how are you currently getting jobs? Well, I got one or two ways, and I'm struggling with this. I'd like to be here, but at the end of the day, they don't really want to be there. They just want to like verbalize it in their head. They'd like to get to $20,000, but it's like they're making $2,000 a month right now. Like, it's one thing to say that you want to do something. It's another thing to take action, implement the things that we talk about, and do it week over week. So,
And there's risk with everything, right? Like, and a lot of people are they're just risk avert. Like, what is it? The
risk
aversion.
aversion.
And they're scared. And with good reason. It's risk for a reason. There is a chance that you are going to fail, but there is an equal chance, depending on how you stack the deck in your favor, that you will not fail, right? There's a risk that if you don't do the things that you need to do, you will fail. I don't know. It's such a, it's all right here and it's all right here. And if you're unwilling to take a chance on yourself, nobody else is, and you're going to continue to be where you're at now.
That's why I say you got to be so tired of your current situation that
Right.
you demand something to change. What color tip do I use for pressure washing my vinyl siding? I'd
Okay.
go
So
right for the red one.
don't use the red tip, but also like the colored tips that's primarily what you find for homeowners pressure washers. You're going to have a black tip. That's your soap tip. You're going to have a yellow tip. That's your high pressure tip. You're going to have a green tip, which is a wider fan. You're going to have a red tip. Take that red tip, throw it in the garbage can. You're never going to use it. You're going to cause damage with it. But really, it's more of the degree that we talk about as professionals. And you'll see that, with tips, you're not going to see a lot of professionals using tips simply because that's a lot of in your pockets and wet pockets and finding the right one and doing all this. We have these things. They're really cool. They're called J-rods. It's just like a little nozzle holder. And then you screw in each of your individual tips. On ours, we've got like a 0 degree tip, but it's not a true 0 because the orifice is significantly longer. It's for long range. 25 degree is like what would be equivalent to your green tip. 15 degree, which is the high pressure, is typically where most, that's like your yellow tip. So but your question is, what are you going to use to clean vinyl siding? Again, are you applying a chemical? How strong is that chemical? Because if it's quite strong, then you're just going to need a very low pressure rinse. But a lot of people, homeowners, will get out there and just blast the shit out of vinyl siding with the yellow tip, and it will remove all of the nasty, but you're not killing any of the organics, and it's going to come back right quickly. So
It'll also remove your paint if it's oxidized whatsoever. So another thing to keep in mind. Um, that was a long-winded answer for the tip. My favorite game is just the tip, says Jack.
Good one.
It's pretty good. Does Southeast Softwash have a pumpkin spice scented surfactant? Missed an opportunity if they don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
They do have other holiday flavors. If it smelled too good, people might start trying to drink it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So you got to
I
be
used
careful.
to do that a lot. There was some cherry flavored surfactant that came out a while back, and also some apple. And I mean, it
A
smelled
sweet
so
cherry
good.
pie flavored, Mike?
Yeah, and it tasted so good, or it smelled so good. And I like to. That's how I test the strength.
Yep.
But I got to be honest with you. Even though it smelled good, it didn't taste good.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Mike, how often do you go to the barber shop looking clean?
Thanks. I don't really have a schedule. I go when I start feeling shaggy, and actually, I did go yesterday, and I got a little clippity clip of the thinning hair, so it's pretty cool.
I did forget to make you guys aware of the fact that we're going to be doing another class here. If you're somebody who's worried about the winter time slowing down, be sure to check out Mike's winter class, 5 sneaky secrets that make Mike $20,000 a month in the winter. I know we hear that a lot. Like guys are, worried about everything slowing down, not making as much money, all that kind of stuff. So be sure to check it out. It'll be linked up in the comment section and the description. Super cheap. And the stuff that Mike's going to talk about is going to be very useful and helpful. Right, Mike?
Oh, you got that right, Stallion. We don't worry about the winter.
Yes. Jack asked where the link for one-on-one coaching is. It's linked in the comment section and the description. Jack with the other link as well. Okay, I dropped my Google pay-per-click and doubled LSA and had a much better result. Good. I mean, local service ads is dependent upon search volume and where you rank in there and all that other kind of good
Reviews
stuff.
and a bunch of other things. Yep.
With downstreaming, what is the best connection point? Injector after the pump with the hose attached, or you want to answer this one, Mike?
If you want.
Injector after the pump with the hose attached, or injector on the hose with the gun attached to injector. It will be on a
Okay.
Home Depot washer.
Okay. First, I'm going to reread this because that is a convoluted statement. With downstreaming, what's the better connection point? Injector after the pump with the hose attached, or injector on the hose with the gun attached to injector? Okay, the entire purpose of a chemical injector is not to have it at the gun, because if you have it at the gun, guess what happens? You're then carrying around a bucket and you're basically using an X-Jet. So you don't want it at the gun. You want it at the pump on obviously the downstream side, right? The outlet side of the pump, because we don't want any chemicals running through our pump. And so that's why we downstream, to remove the opportunity for anything but water to go through our pumps, because it can mess them up. So downstream injector connected at the hose reel or connected at the outside of your unloader is actually where it would be. And then you run your little tube into your chemical tank and it will pull and you can apply.
Very insightful, Mike. Cole says, I do 5 to 6 jobs a week while working full-time job, going to college, and living on my own. Just a lot of stuff going on and haven't been real smart about these things. Thanks for y'all's advice. Absolutely. See, that gives us a lot more context, Cole, as to why you're running a 2.5 gallon a minute washer. So it's difficult. This is exactly what I was doing. I was working jobs. I didn't have a full-time job. I was washing, I was going to college, and I was living on my own, and I was making YouTube videos. That's how I got started doing all this. So I know how time consuming all that stuff can be. But yeah, dude, I know how tight money was back then too. So I completely understand. What do you do if the grass got burnt because of SH? Nothing you can do. All you can do is learn and rinse it next time, so that way it doesn't get burned.
And inform the homeowner and ask them if they would like you to replace it, because ultimately that's what you want to do.
Yes. A test spot landed me a $32,000 job.
That's awesome.
Pretty crazy. That's incredible. I work full-time and started a pressure washing business on the side. Saturday is my only available day to work. Between work and school, my time is limited. What suggestions do you have to get jobs? I work a full-time job and started a pressure washing business on the side. Saturday is my only available day to work. Between work and school, my time is limited.
Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of opportunity. You've got school full-time. and you work full time, or you've got school and you've got work, I'm sure that I can see you've got a picture here with lots of people in there. So I would start with all of those people. Let everybody that uh, know that you are starting a pressure washing business on the side and you're looking to fill up your Saturdays. So I would start with friends and family first, leverage those relationships, get lots of before and after pictures, get lots of reviews from these people, and then use that to continually build your marketing. Post on your Google business profile page, your Facebook page, post in community groups, and you will start to see those leads start to come in. But yeah, that's how you do it.
Boom. Yep. Leverage friends and family first. Question: would you get a 2,500 psi 5.5 gallon minute machine, or the higher gallon per minute is going to be the better machine to go with? Anything else you want to add to that, Mike?
No.
It's not about psi. It's all about gallons per minute. So I'd recommend. I don't. Do they make a 5.5? That's a 2,500 psi. That seems low to me.
Yeah, it does seem a little low.
Yeah. Find a middle ground, but I'd always go higher GPM. Is this a business you can go into with friends? I have a couple buddies that are interested in a startup with me.
Let's think about it. If you are starting a business and you are, say, your average ticket price is, you're starting, it's a couple buddies, right? Sounds, not that I'm making any assumptions, but maybe you're not, okay. You guys are all sharp and you're going to get out there. You're going to start a business, okay? And you're going to start a pressure washing business, and you're going to go out and you're going to buy a pressure washer, okay? And then a pressure washer is typically only used by one person. So what are those other two guys going to be doing, right? So that's the first flaw. The guy that's doing the work is probably going to get a little upset because he's the one that's doing the work. Or you could say, well, we're each going to do it, whatever the case is, okay? A couple buddies and yourself, that's 3. But let's say your average ticket price is $300, okay? $300 is your average ticket price. And say that you got $50 in costs. So now you're at $250, right? Divided by 3, $83. Now, is it worth it to split it all up with one pressure washer? And I don't know, man. Like, I would just say probably do it yourself, right? Hire them. I don't know. Like, business partnerships can go a couple different ways. They can go really, really well, right? Or they can go really, really shitty. And I would venture to say that most partnerships end in no more friendships and a broken business. So just my 2 cents.
I think if your friends don't add anything of significant value, I wouldn't have them. I think in the beginning, when you're thinking about starting a business, you want to look at like dividing up all of the things that can go wrong and all of the what's the word I'm looking for, Mike? Anyway, you're just looking to mitigate your risk, I guess is what I'm saying. And that's why you want to bring in other people, because it's like, okay, well, if they come in with me, then I won't have as much risk. The only problem is when people don't have skill sets that they bring to the business, like Mike said, it can usually become one-sided with regards to who's doing the work, who's doing the marketing. People get lazy, and then before you know it, you've built this big business and they own half of it because they started with you. So just something to be mindful of. I'd always make sure that they have some kind of a competitive advantage that they bring to the table that you can utilize.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who we got? Jack, what's going on?
What's up, Pains?
Paint's pressure washer in the house. Office is the word of the day. Orifice is the word of the day. When is the deadline for the Quote IQ video submissions, Mike?
Tomorrow. Like, get it done. You were supposed to do that for me anyway, Josh.
Dang. My winter plan is to work under a different trade every winter to learn different skills: electric, HVAC, plumbing, carpentry, etc.
Nice.
Okay. I'm fully stressed. I'm fully stressed that I am going to start my pressure washing business here in Cambodia. Now you guys even make me more stressed. Haha, JK, thanks for the advice.
Yeah. And I tell you, there is stress involved in even the thoughts of starting a business. But Cambodia, I know where Cambodia is. I'm not that familiar with the economic climate and political states right now, but I would definitely do some more research and make sure that there is a need for your services.
Yeah. And if there isn't, then offer something that there is a need for.
Yeah.
RJ says, Justin, just want to say how nice it was to spend time with you and Tiff. See you soon. Thanks, RJ. Appreciate it. Thanks for jumping in, man. you guys haven't checked out RJ, he's an author. He's a good guy. I have a DeWalt 4400 psi 4 gallon per minute pressure washer. I just want to up the GPM. I know there's a way to change the pump out to bump it up to 5.5 gallon per minute. What kind of pump is that?
Okay. I mean, there's all kinds of different pumps. It sounds, a DeWalt is a homeowner's pressure washer. And, you probably bought it at Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere like that. And with all of that being said, I probably wouldn't invest a ton more money in upgrading that. I would go and I would buy a 5.5, and use that, because if you were legitimately wanting to start a business, don't band-aid something, right? And it's a minimal investment in the grand scope of things. Like a couple jobs, it can pay for your, new machine. You got to look at it like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't try to like piece things together. That's when you get into trouble. Guys try to get into it too cheaply, and it just, yeah. Education, investing in yourself is everything. Completely agree, Jack. How do we price flood cleanup jobs? Do you charge your normal rate or raise or lower it? Flood cleanup? I'll never price flood cleanup.
I've never experienced that.
Yes. Stress is good, makes you bring out the best in yourself. Absolutely. People they oftentimes don't move until they're stressed enough to do something. Can a GX390 handle a 5.5 gallon per minute pump? I don't know. Do you know that, Mike?
Can a GX390 handle a GX? Well, GX390 is a Honda motor. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to look at the specs. You'd have to look at like the shaft size and things of that nature. And Jack, I know you're going to make like a joke about shaft size now. But
predicting.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. Yeah. So I would, there's a lot of information out on the interwebs, but also you can probably find like a local, small motor place, small engine place that can help you out. We're lucky. We've got a place right here that's very knowledgeable.
Yeah. Shaft size. That's a good one.
Thanks.
Mike, would you do a class on local service ads?
We do. It's in the one-on-one training.
We do much more than that too. We go through every marketing that we ever have implemented. So definitely check that out. Orifice and shaft size today. Those are the words of the day. Absolutely. That's right. Mike, did you any other Halloween updates? You didn't pass out any candy last night, did you?
We did. So I'm a big Halloween guy. Like I'm sad because today is November 1st and all my decorations, I've told you guys in the past, I've got these gigantic, I don't know if they're 13, 18 feet, like giant skeleton. I got this giant scarecrow, a giant skeleton dog. I've got 4 skeletons, full-size human skeletons crawling up the side of my house. I've got, what else do we have? A giant spider web. It's probably a 30-foot by 40-foot at the base, maybe. Spider web with giant spiders climbing up. And then I've got spiders all over the rest of the house where the skeletons aren't climbing up. And it all has to come down tomorrow. So I'm a little sad. But we are, then Christmas. I love Christmas too. So the Christmas lights will be going up relatively soon. But no, that's we didn't do any trick-or-treating last night. My youngest daughter went to friend's house, and so she spent the night out and trick-or-treated with them. All my big kids were either at college or not interested in watching football. And then my wife and I went downtown and we had a wonderful meal. And that actually will lead us into the meat of the week, because I did see that question earlier. So the meat of the week, if you're ready, is confit pork belly paired with a delicious, Brussels sprouts. It was absolutely delicious. So that was it.
Duck, Mike? Confit?
No. Confit is the preparation. It's pork belly. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can get duck confit. Many different kinds. So yeah, delicious.
Let's get a rating on that meat of the week. What do you guys think? Pretty good? Could be better?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, sweet, man. That sounds like a lot of fun. We've been having we didn't have the best Halloween, but We've had better, you know what I'm saying? It rained over here. Dude, it rains. I had this trash can that I need to throw. I tried to throw away, but they wouldn't take it, and, 'cause the lid, like, completely broke off, and this is, like what are those big trash cans, Mike? How many gallons? You know, like 64 gallons or
Oh, they're
something?
huge. Yeah, 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 probably.
120 something gallons. This thing was filled up to the top, like, it poured
From
last.
one night?
Yes, I should have taken a picture because 'cause it's got a hole in it, and it was
Yeah,
like water was spewing out of the hole. The hole's kinda high up, so it looked like it was peeing, and I was
yeah.
like, "Dude, how much water is in there?" And sure enough, it was filled up,
Dude,
so
that's crazy. Yeah, Justin had a rough day yesterday.
yeah, it wasn't good. So, hey,
You
look,
can see
things happen.
got a little cut on his nose. He got into a fight.
My son dropped a can of, something on my face, and it was full, so
Dude,
it
and
was
there's like even though
dude
there's no sharp edges, that's a bad thing to have drop on your face. Even
dude.
at relaying on the ground?
No, I think I picked him up because I was picking him up from, like, the ground of the couch or something, and then he just dropped it clean on my face, and, like,
Oh.
dude,
Did
and
you
it was
drop him?
full. No, I, like, yelled. It was
Or
like,
you
you know when
yeah, did
something
you
hurts
kick
so
him?
bad, like, you just scream? Dude, one time I don't think I've ever told this story on here. One time I was doing this landscaping job, and, it was like, dude, we were so over our heads. I used to do just little landscape jobs. One time I got this call out from this lady, and, we ended up quitting as, like at, like, 5 grand, and, like, it should have been way more money than this, but, like, it was the first time I'd ever made anything close to that on one job, and, so, like, we had to rent, like, my dad helped me on it. We rented a, skid steer or whatever, so he,
Oh,
like, had
wow.
to move stuff around. Anyway, there was this rock structure that she wanted removed, and I was, like, picking out pieces of this rock structure, and something happened, and like, one of the rocks fell down and hit my finger, and I
Oh.
knew it was really bad because when it hit my finger, I didn't feel anything, but, like, anyway, dude, my whole like, my nail fell off, it was
Oh,
bad.
that's
It was
terrible.
I'm so lucky it didn't break my finger in
Okay, I've
half.
got one that's as
Okay, I don't wanna hear, Mike, I don't
no,
like
no, this
these
is a good
stories.
one. This is a good one.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead, go ahead.
So we it was when we first moved to Savannah, and it was so no kids. It was just my wife and I. And when we moved from Atlanta, we in Savannah. Cost of living, and this was 20 something years ago, more than that. It was significantly higher in Atlanta. We get down here, and like we were able to buy this historic house in a nice area, and in the backyard there was this 3-car carriage house, right? And the people that owned it previously were actually renting it out to like a college student. But like I was like, I don't want anyone living in my backyard. So whatever. The carriage house was built like probably in the 1970s. The house was in like from the 30s. And so the brick was different and it just wasn't like visually appealing to me. And so I was like, okay, I wanted to do something. So we painted it, but on one of the walls of the building, the carriage house, it was covered with vines, like ivy, and it was beautiful, but had never been kept up. So I had these electric hedge trimmers, right? Zzz, with the little blades that go like that. And so I was up on a ladder and I was painting and I was kind of like doing both at the same time. And so I had the ladder up on the side with all the thing. I had these latex gloves on because I was painting. And so I was waiting for, I guess, whatever. And I come over and I start, I'm up on this ladder holding on with one hand and I've got the electric hedge trimmers in the other. And I'm doing, cleaning, trimming up the, all the vines on the house. And I lost my footing. And so I'm falling off the ladder, and in this hand that was holding onto the ladder, I had in the electric hedge trimmer in this hand. I don't know what I was thinking, but I went to grab and I grabbed the hedge trimmer that was on, and so again, just like you, I didn't feel it initially. I get down the ladder because I knew something was wrong. And I look down at my hand and the entire glove, latex glove, was filling up with blood and making like this giant bubble down here. And blood was spewing out everywhere else. And I ended up like two of the fingers, it went down to the bone. The other ones were not as terrible, but I still have scars on the hand. And it was absolutely terrible. Like Justin hates blood.
Dude, I hate it. I love it. I love to hate it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a good time. One time I pressure washed my hand, Mike, and I was like, I don't know, I was like on a ladder and this was before I even knew anything about soft washing, and I literally pressure washed like
Oh, yeah.
anyway, I pressure washed like a line into my pinky. But the funny thing is when I met my wife, she had like a scar on the same finger. It was really weird. So
Do you guys like do like pinky promises? Is that
that's
how
right.
you got married? That's cute.
We pinky promise each other. It's a lot of fun.
It's
Cooks
awesome.
Pressure Washing is in here. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you
Uh,
for hanging out, Cooks. What industries need pressure washers to go in first and after their work that we could find subcontracted jobs from, and how do we approach them to lock in work? Great question, Charles. That's a really, really smart question. I mean, just thinking through it, like painters obviously need pressure washing before. Also, like construction, there's usually post construction cleanup, so it's a good place to go with regards to some of that. What do
yeah.
you say, something?
Yeah, builders, painters, but and it's not just like industries like that. We're thinking like construction, but there's the real estate industry, right? People need their shit cleaned before and after they sell. So all kinds of different industries.
Yep. James Bass is with us. What's up, guys? Appreciate you hanging out, James. I got a 4 gallon per minute Honda and X-Jet. Want to get a better setup, but don't have a lot of money to do it. Okay, so yeah, this is a good one. I got a 4 gallon per minute Honda and X-Jet. Want to get a better setup, but don't have a lot of money to do it. Mike, what would you suggest?
You know, and again, I don't know the condition of the 4 gallon per minute machine, but like that's a decent combination to do some residential, right? Is it as great as an 8 gallon per minute? Obviously not. You're not going to be able to get as much done as quickly, especially with surface cleaning. Um, so you say I've got this machine and this XJet, and you want to get a better setup, but don't have a lot of money to do it. So use that setup to earn money, so you do have the money to get a better setup. It's that simple. Reinvest in your business. That's the answer to that particular comment.
To that conundrum.
That conundrum has
Um,
been solved.
Hot power washing is the inside. Hot power washing the insides of fast food places. It takes a bit of moving all equipment, but pays. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Richard pressure washes the insides of restaurants. So
We've done that before. But yeah,
great.
he's right. Like the equipment move, and there's hood vent cleaning. There's all kinds of other ancillary things that you can provide to you
There's a
know
guy in my neighborhood with a hood vent cleaning business. I want to stop by and see if I can go talk to him, but
Yeah,
kind of
that's a
fun.
nasty, nasty job.
Yeah, he's got a whole rig built out for it. So
Yeah.
pretty good stuff. Mike, anything else you want to mention on this live stream? Anything else you want to talk
No,
about?
I don't think so. I mean, we've had a bunch of awesome updates to Quote IQ. One of them is the Zapier integration, specifically right now with the Google Calendar, which is very cool. And obviously, if you are interested in giving Quote IQ a try, then I would give it a try. It's $1. You can try any tier out and see if it's a good fit for your business.
Yep. Only $1. You can unlock tools like InstaQuote, InstaSchedule, our pre-inspection forms, dashboard analytics, review multiplier, our map measure pro tool. Dude, we have jam-packed this thing with so much stuff. We're actually going to we might be doing this. We might be taking a poll out and seeing what things you guys want built out next. We have a couple different directions that we want to go in, but we want to make sure that we're moving in the direction that, most people want to see. So if you guys have any suggestions from this video or, right now, let us know. But yeah, we completely revamped the dashboard, and then we've been changing a bunch of things. We revamped the estimate screen just to look a little bit cleaner, and we're always making changes, always making it better.
Always making it better. Okay, James Bass, this is the last comment. This is awesome. Mike, I had the pleasure of setting up a 16-year-old boy for business the other day. And okay, before we get to the next question, like that's amazing, right? First of all, that's just a cool thing to do, right? And then we take such great pride and pleasure in helping people like realize their dreams, right? And that sounds so strange, but sometimes all it takes is a little motivation, maybe a kick in the ass. But when you do something like that and you bought him a 4 gallon per minute washer and a surface cleaner and a couple 100 feet of hose, like that's badass. And thank you, James, because you probably made that young man's life change forever. Because at 16, he's got basically the world in his hand because you've set him up for success. So I hope it goes well for him. Yes, Quote IQ has an app. It's on the Apple Store. It is on the Google Play Store. It's everywhere, and it's at myquoteiq.com. So I would suggest you go to myquoteiq.com, get the free, it's not a free version. It's for $1, but you can choose any tier. That way you can try everything out for a month. If it works, the tier that you like works, awesome. Stick with it. Maybe you don't need something as, robust as the ultimate. Downgrade to the platinum or the premium, but at least you'll have the opportunity to see everything that we have available for you guys to help run your business. So check that out at myquoteiq.com.
One of the things I like that James says is he said he's a go-getter, I do believe. People will go out of their way to help you if they can tell that you have that kind of go-getter spirit, go-getter mentality. I think what's the verse? I think it's something about like God helps those who help themselves. And so just by having that kind of spirit, people are going to go out of their way. Me and Mike have done it. Me and Mike have met people that, they were go-getters and we helped them out more than what we probably help other people out because we probably saw a bit of ourselves in them. Right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, word of the day. I know Jack had 2 earlier. Let's see if I can find them.
It was orifice and shaft size.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Orifice or shaft size. If you guys made it this far in the video, comment down below. We'll hashtag you a real one. Anything else you want to mention, Mike?
No, I think I'm all mentioned out, buddy.
Okay, sweet. Charles says, thank you guys. I downloaded Quote IQ yesterday. The only thing with regards to Quote IQ is if you get it through the website, you could get the $1 trial for the first month, any tier. So just another thing to mention. So anyway,
because I didn't just mention that.
Wait, what, Mike?
Because I didn't just mention that. See, Justin doesn't listen when I talk. It's very rude.
I don't. I didn't hear a word you just said. Be sure to check out Mike's. I will be listening when Mike does his class. The 5 sneaky secrets that make him $20,000 a month in the winter. No longer be scared when it gets cold outside. You can see dollar signs when it gets
the weather
cold.
outside is frightful, but your bank account will be delightful.
Wow, keep going, Mike.
I can't. I just that was just off the dome.
Let Mike blow. Let Mike blow. Let
What?
Mike blow. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Shorts is the winner unless more votes come in.
Hey, if the shoe fits, I'll wear it, brother.
Whoa, here we
I
go.
don't
All right,
care.
Cinderella. All right, if you guys made this far in the video, comment down below orifice or shaft size. We'll hashtag your real one. My name is Justin. For self-employed. Until next time, let's hard and get that money, baby. Peace.